All right, guys, welcome back to Crunch Time, the show you get the best NBA DFS picks each and every day. Today we have a nice, I believe, 8-game slate here, joined as always with Chrissair DFS. How are you doing today, Chris?
A little dark. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I'm just going to adjust this light so I'm not as dark. I think that's better. Is that better?
Looks the same to me.
It's a little darker today,
yeah.
though.
I don't know. Ask the people. They probably know better.
I think it's fine. They're here for the DFS content. But yeah, 8-game slate. Are you excited about this one, Chris?
Yeah, I'm always excited about the slates, of course.
Let's see what we got. We got Brett in here. He says, good tip, let's go. Westy is going to stuff the stat sheet tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, he always does. Another day that ends in Y, so he's going to stuff the stat sheet once again.
Oh, yeah, it's Monday, Chris. What's Monday? Money Monday?
Money Monday. I don't know. But I'll be back. One sec.
Oh, leaving me alone here. Yeah, I guess Money Monday is what we'll go with. Got David in here. What's up? Hasty. Hasty said sharpest projections on the site LFG. Had to correct him. It's every slate. Every slate is sharp. You got T-Bay in here. Says Lowry and the Spurs overtime saved me yesterday. Did you have Lowry, Chris, and the Spurs overtime yesterday?
I don't think the Spurs overtime saved him because, I mean, they were just super popular. But Lowry, he went off. He was crazy. But yeah, yesterday went actually very well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, LeBron, Chris, what's going on there? Lakers lost to the Raptors. How does that happen?
Yeah, and he made a remark about the play-in tournament. I love the play-in tournament, so I definitely didn't agree with what he said.
What did he say? I missed that one. We got to bring it up because I'm sure if Hasty didn't see that one, I feel like it's something he would like to know about.
Yeah, so I think they're the 7th seed now. I think they're on like a pretty big skid. And he said, LeBron James on the play-in tournament. Whoever came up with that shit needs to be fired. Yeah, so I mean, like, it's always these teams who are in the play-in spot, but like, it makes no sense. We have much more competitive basketball now. We have only like 6 real teams who are eliminated instead of 15 right now. So I mean, it makes for a much better brand of basketball, in my opinion.
I agree with you, but what does that say about LeBron, Chris? Isn't he supposed to be the GOAT?
Yeah, that's the only thing that I didn't like hearing from him. Like the ankle thing where he said he was never going to be 100%. I was fine with that one, but I don't really like this one.
Excuses keep piling on. Excuses, complaints, whining. Maybe he just needs another superstar there. Who could he get, Chris? Maybe, I don't know. Who could they get there?
They were supposed to get Kalo, and I mean, Kalo torched them yesterday. But he would have been a great fit, I think.
Yeah, Kalo would be a great fit on any contending team, I think, is where he deserves to be at this point in his career. Unless he wants to retire as a Raptor. But yeah, any situation other than those two, I think, would be kind of disrespectful for Kalo. He's a great player. Great career as well. But yeah, I don't know. Don't like that out of LeBron as well. But he's also out now for a while too, Chris. I think he left the game early when it was like a blowout probably.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. Is this another one of those toss-up seasons for them?
No, I mean, I still like them to win the chip. I like them more than Brooklyn. I mean, it was LeBron's second game back. I didn't see the injury. I was watching that game at the end, but I assume it was already over. And today's back-to-back, so that's why he's out today. But I'm not too worried if I'm a Lakers fan.
Yeah, I think it was like a 20-point game probably when he left, something like that. And then, I mean, at the end it was like a 6-point game. So I mean, if he was there, he could have got the dub maybe. But yeah, as a Raptors fan, I love to see that. How are they doing actually? They're going for this 10th spot, hey?
I don't know. Are they? Like,
it's
confusing because, I mean, they're probably good enough, but they rest their guys all the time. So it makes me think they're not going for it. So I have no idea.
Yeah, but what are they going to get? Like, how do the draft picks work here? 11th, 15th? Like, what is that?
I think they changed it this year. I'm not sure the exact format, but I think they changed it up a little bit.
Okay. Let's get into it because we got Willie Hoops in here. He doesn't like the homework, Chris. So we gotta rush through the homework for Willie. Let's see what else we got though. So it's Make Money Monday from Hasty. That's the one. Triple M. Rondo here says, yeah, LeBron is being annoying. Dinda says Westy time. Let's see. Willie says LeBlowhard blabbing again with his verbal diarrhea.
Wait, so I have a question. I have a question for Dinda because I know Dinda's a huge Westbrook fan, and I know Dinda's like he's been watching the NBA for 70 years.
Old school.
Yeah. So how does what does he think of Westbrook? How would he fare in the old school game, like going up against like Oscar in the 80s, guys like that? How would he fare? Would he be like the same, better, worse? What's his opinion on that? Because I know he loves Westbrook, and I know he's a old timer here.
Yeah, Din is the perfect guy to ask questions about that. I know Ryan loves to hold the title of like oldest member. Like, oh, I'm old. I don't know how to use the optimizer. Like, I can't run. I'm old. But Dinda definitely has that over him. So, what does he have? Probably like 20. How old is Dinda? 70s, 60s, something?
He's like 73.
Yeah, so he's got like 30 years on Hasty over here. And Hasty's the one with the with the name in the Discord, Old Man Hasty. So
He's the youngest guy there, probably.
yeah, one of the younger guys for sure after like us probably. Yeah, let's see what else we got. T-Bay is defending LeBron. He says, chill guys, he's 36. Cut him some slack.
Yeah, why would he say that about the plan? Why would he say whoever came up with this needs to be fired?
Isn't he all about the fans? That doesn't seem like something you would say if you love the game for the fans.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm a LeBron guy, but I didn't like that.
Isn't he also the one who didn't want to play if there were no fans in the stadium at the start of when they shut things down?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's a little different. Like,
that was a tough situation to foresee. I can get that, but still. Yeah. Adrian says CP3 for MVP. Who's the favorite now, Chris? Jokic won.
Yeah, it's Joker. He's running away with it. I mean, Jamal Murray has gone out. They're 9-1 in their last 10.
I remember asking that. Do you think they'll be better without Jamal Murray? I mean, they've been playing really well, but you still don't think they're better. But they're still clicking.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be better. Just because you need guys like that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Guys who aren't scared to take the big shot. Guys who can kind of alleviate pressure, I guess, from guys like Jokic, and he could obviously make for him. So yeah. I think it's going to hurt them, but they've been playing well. I think definitely well enough for him to solidify the MVP for him.
Yeah, and then who's number 2 right now? Who'd you put there? CP3? Where's CP3 ranked?
Know. I think it's it might be Giannis or not Harden anymore. Maybe Embiid again. MVP. Yeah, you're looking it up. There you go. Yeah, so Jokic and then Embiid. Embiid missed the time. Like, Embiid was the favorite before he went down. He went down, and I placed a little bet on Jokic. But yeah, now he's minus 500, so that's just overwhelming odds. That's like Golden State Warriors with KD going up against the Orlando Magic right now. That's what the line would be.
But do you feel like CP3 should be a bit higher here? I mean, he's not a big name. I get that. I don't know.
No, there's no chance he should be higher.
Yeah.
Like, they have Booker, who can be like you can argue Booker's the main guy there. I don't know. Jokic just does everything. Jokic deserves it for sure.
Yeah. Let's get through this chat here. Let's see. Hasty says Westbrook has that dog in him. He would have blended in fine during the 80s and 90s, in his opinion. Steven, what's up? Let's see. Hasty says LeBron is all about himself. He is so inconsistent. Remember when he shamed the Houston owner for supporting human rights in Hong Kong because it was messing with his shoe money in China? Willie says AD is soft. LeBlow hard, crying with his pseudo injuries. Lakers are going nowhere. I think I saw a good one. It was like A Disney for Anthony Davis, and then LeMickey on Twitter. It was a good one. I don't know if it was A Disney or something. I don't know. I think it was A Disney and LeMickey. I like those though, the Mickey Mouse references and all that for the bubble. Love those. But let's go over the success quickly, Chris. I'm not sure if we went over this one yesterday, maybe not.
Yeah, we did at the end of the show.
I don't know did we go over this one too?
No, that was what time was mine at?
Half an hour earlier, so I guess not.
We
So
ended
yeah,
like
let's
3.
get through this. So we got Nick here, 55, 112. This is some NASCAR cars stuff. I don't know, cars, something like that, something along those lines, something to do with cars. Rookie baseball main slate, 47, 92, aka Puppy Instructor. Shout out to her. Nick over here, 12 to 35, and MLB GPP turn and burn here. Baseball afternoon slate, 229 into 860. That's a good one there. Something about the afternoon slate here. No good contest left when Nick entered. Always got to enter your contest early, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it crushed there. Like, turn and burn went, 4x pretty much, through 230 to 860. So yeah, it definitely crushed.
Yeah. Didn't it over here? It says Bill Gates getting divorced, and then like 8 joy emojis, and then 4 ghost emojis. Have you seen his wife?
No.
Sort of looks like a man. I don't know if he's actually getting divorced though, but yeah. Nick over here, baseball action 110 into 222. Solid stuff there. Deshaun, what did he do? 13 into 26 on DK with the Mulan advertisement here. FanDuel 25 into 56. Solid stuff out of him. T-Bay over here said he got saved by the Spurs OT. You say no. Lowry crushed, obviously, $10 into 20, pretty much.
Can we see that? Can we see that ad again?
Mulan?
Yeah, so I know Deshaun's talked about movies before. Like, he's talked about the Mortal Kombat movie in the YouTube chat. So, I mean, it makes sense that he's getting this ad.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say that.
Did he go see that? When's the Mortal Kombat? I thought that was like a fighting video game. They make movies on it too now?
That's what I thought too, but I mean, I know Aiden's into that, or Rondo. I guess Deshaun is as well, so yeah.
Yeah. Hasty says about Bill Gates getting divorced, that's going to cost him $1.5 bags. He's got all that vaccine money or something. Like, he's fine. But yeah, you should look up his wife. Kind of scary. Makes you wonder if he's actually getting divorced, who he will replace her / him with. But I'll leave it at that. We got Chris here at 1600, 3200. This is NBA main slate on FanDuel. All day slate as well. 595 into 1200. Solid stuff out of you. So we'll go over those, or I guess just one of them. Turn and burn NBA killed it here. Lots of double ups. Mid to high stakes here. High stakes? Mid to high stakes?
I think turn and burn is mid to high stakes.
Yeah, he is. He's been here for a while, actually. He knows his stuff. But yeah, solid stuff out of him. High up here in all of his contests. Ultra boosted, also double ups here. Solid stuff on DK. Snow. I saw this one yesterday, or this morning, actually. He made this easy for me. 82 into 230. So, because this screenshot doesn't let you know. But yeah, he knows his stuff. Shout out to Snow for this one. Makes my job easier. So actually, we don't know what sport this is, so he kind of left that one out.
Probably NBA.
Mystery sport from Snow, but solid results. 8 in here. This is NBA main slate, NBA all day slate, DK, NBA main slate, NBA's baseball single slate, baseball afternoon slate. So lots of solid stuff out of the crunchers. Quick reminder, if you're not a cruncher, go to our site, dfscrunch.com, get yourself a free trial. Absolutely free, no link needed, no code needed. Just go to our site, set it up, and then you can try everything out for free. But yeah, let's go over your success, Chris. So you didn't post DK today, so I guess you lost here. What didn't go your way on DK here? I see Flynn with the snowflake.
Yeah, so I mean, I was right along the cash line. I won some money back here on DK. So we got the Spurs lineup pretty late. We got Gay starting, so I really wanted to get him in. I had Lonnie Walker originally. Lonnie Walker wasn't starting. I projected him to start before, so I wanted to get him out. I wanted to get Gay in. And I think that took me off of Keldon Johnson and brought me onto Malachi Flynn. So that was a pretty bad swap, in my opinion. The other swap was at the top of all the contests, so I guess I should have stayed, but I thought it was the right thing to do. Obviously, I wasn't expecting Flynn to go for 2.25 with no Van Vliet, and then we got no OG as well. And I was like 5 points off the cash line here in this contest, like 2 points in other contests. And then also the Halliburton injury really hurt me here on DK because he was like 50 to 60% owned. FanDuel, he was mega chalk, but here on DK got hurt, so that hurt me a lot as well.
Okay. Do you want to go over anyone else here, Chris?
Yeah, the 8th place team is the original.
Oh, yeah. Scotty T. Jr. over here.
Yeah, so like I said, Lonnie Walker and Keldon Johnson instead of Malachi Flynn and Rudy Gay. This one crushed here, but I still liked my swap a lot. Like I said, I wasn't expecting Malachi Flynn to go for 2 points. Then if this game didn't go into OT, I think my swap actually could have done better. So, I mean, it is what it is, but I liked my swap.
Yep. Question on this. Rondo and Hasty are asking if Flynn got hurt or if he played his regular minutes.
I don't think he got hurt because I think he was actually playing. Let me just check.
Maybe just Lowry was playing really well.
Well, it was the Lowry Siakam show. So kind of like we were talking about with Pascal Siakam. I think he went just crazy yesterday. But Flynn played 19 minutes, 2 fouls, 0 for 7 from the field. So probably just wasn't playing well. I'm seeing that Bembry played very well. So Bembry probably got those minutes there.
Yeah. I also feel like Lowry and Siakam, they always get up for the LeBron games just because they have that playoff history over in the Eastern Conference with the Cavs. He always kind of eliminated them back when they had DeMar DeRozan like every single year. So maybe it's a little personal for them. They kind of get up for that game a bit more. So
I don't know about Siakam, but Lowry for sure. I mean, he's the guy that's been there forever.
Yeah.
He's the guy who LeBron basically owned in the playoffs. But I mean, I think recently Lowry has been playing very well against LeBron recently.
Yeah. Let's see some other chat here quickly. Austin says, shaking my head, HBO / Max new Mortal Kombat movie. Apparently we're disrespecting the Mulan movie, Chris from T-Bay.
Mulan? I mean, I know Mulan's a movie. We were talking about Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah, how are we disrespecting it? What did you say?
All I said was that was a good targeted ad to Deshaun because I know he likes movies like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how T-Bay took that as disrespectful towards Mulan. Hasty wants to see Ultra Boosted's Ultra Boost collection. I don't know if I said that right. I don't know why I can't say that right now. How would you say that, Chris?
I don't know, but I know we have a lot of sneaker guys in here, like sneaker DFS. Pretty like it mixes together. People trying to make money online. Yeah, so I mean, we have a few guys. I know Weaver as well. Obviously, Kubaka. We have a few guys who actually do bots and stuff like that. So
which is funny because I used to have my own bot for sneakers, for Adidas, for Yeezys, for Shopify, all that stuff. And then I also had an add to cart service before, maybe 3 years before starting to work on DFS Crunch. So there's quite a bit of overlap here. I always see it with the mutual Twitter followers whenever I see someone in DFS, and then the old sneaker community that I was part of. And then also the mutual servers over in Discord. I see people in some of the old sneaker / bot servers that I was a part of before. So yeah, there is quite a bit of overlap. Yeah, people here love to hustle. DFS, bots, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I used to do it as well. My closet here is filled with sneakers, so many sneakers up there at the top.
The Timberlands that you stole from me?
No, mine are more they're more playing shoes that were rare. So Christmas LeBrons, Christmas Kobe's, Christmas KD's, all-star versions of those shoes. Stuff like that, Easter versions. So that's what I used to collect when I was younger because I used to play a lot. So I like those shoes.
Plus the Timberlands that you stole from me. But those are actually pretty cool. I wonder, they're probably quite limited, right?
The Timberlands?
No. The other ones, not the ones you stole.
Yeah, I have KD2 All-Stars or maybe KD3s. They're orange. I like those a lot. I've never worn them, but I have a ton of shoes. But yeah, the ones I stole from you, they're in New York.
Yeah. Yeah, I know about that. Hasty wants to see your shoes, Chris, in the off topic at some point.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, let's go into FanDuel. So FanDuel here, you did win. This one was 1,600 into 3,300. Round up, round down. But yeah, sixth place here, Chris. Let's just open Glovin. You like going over his, but what was the difference maker here over on FanDuel for you?
Let's go to the next page because I want to compare to the optimal at lock. So yeah, right there. Let's look at 330. Yeah. So yesterday was kind of funny on FanDuel because this Devin Booker team, it had Ben Simmons. I didn't want to play Ben Simmons. I was going to play Kyle Lowry over Ben Simmons, but this team on the left with Ben Simmons and Devin Booker was like 0.3 points away from the first team. And then we got news that Cam Payne was out. Cam Payne is obviously like a pretty high usage guy off the bench, like 25% usage, plays 22 minutes. So I kind of knew that the projections would update to Devin Booker being in the optimal because I mean it was like I said, it was a 0.3 difference. Cam Payne being out actually changes quite a bit because once Chris Paul goes out, it's usually Cam Payne that comes in for him and he kind of runs it because he has pretty high usage. So I knew Booker would have higher usage here. So that's why I went with him. This was like I said, it was the second team until like 30 seconds before lock, and then it finally passed it as the first team. I was happy that both teams actually cashed. So, I mean, I'm wrong because the original team had Simmons. I went Lowry. Lowry was projected a little lower. So if you went with Simmons, that team actually would have ended up losing. I think it got like 310. But I'm happy that the side on the right with the two Blazers guards who were pretty low owned in CJ and Dame, this side did well. So it was a 3v3 here: Dame, CJ, and Cam Johnson versus my Lowry, Booker, and J Rich. So yeah, that was FanDuel yesterday. I like both builds a lot. I just kind of made the swap because I thought the campaign news would matter a lot.
Yep. Anyone else you want to go over? Or is that pretty much it?
That's pretty much it. That's the two sides I want to talk about because the side on the right is what most crunchers went with yesterday.
Yep. Let's get into the slate, Chris. No more homework before Willie has enough of the homework. Brent says Chris Thief DFS. I like that one. We got Chris Thief DFS. We got Fred Van Thief. I'm just a victim here. You stealing my shoes. Fred stealing or not delivering. It was like $200 probably, like around $200 worth of stuff. Still no update. Gonna give him until the start of the next NBA season. I'm not sure if there's like a deadline for like credit card chargebacks or something. I don't know. I gotta deal with it. But yeah, I think start of next season is fair. Give him like the off season. Maybe he'll come back to Toronto.
I have a really bad thing too. Like I have Ray-Bans here that I bought during COVID. Then I wanted to return them, but their offices were closed during COVID at the start. And then I called like every month. I kept calling, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna open up. It's gonna open up. We'll contact you when it opens up." It's been like a year since then, and I'm too lazy to call them back. So I just have another pair of glasses sitting in a box down on my shelf.
Do they fit you though?
Yeah, I mean they're actually the exact same ones that I have here. I just bought them before. They don't have a prescription on them. But I need to return them. Huh?
You can always add one.
Yeah, but I mean they're the exact same frame, so I don't need two of them.
Maybe you could. I mean, on my bank, I saw the other day that I can actually do like the disputes online. Maybe you can do it online as well. It's easy.
I bought them like a year ago. That's the thing.
I don't know if there's a deadline. I'm not sure. We got to ask John Carter. Seems like something he might know. He's the stonks expert, banking expert.
Yeah, I'll say Ray-Bans, no good customer service.
No good. Wait, is this the official Ray-Ban site or something?
Yeah, it was official Ray-Bans.
It's kind of sketchy. Yeah. Let's get into the slate, Chris. Brighter note here. 8 games, so this seems like a good slate size. What's your favorite news so far? Which teams do we like to target here? There's some back-to-backs here as well I'm seeing. What is it? Philadelphia Lakers, Portland, probably some other ones that I'm missing. Spurs as well. What do you like here? And then what don't you like?
So we have some Lakers news with obviously LeBron out. Dennis Schroeder's out once again with the health and safety protocols. So we like Caruso a bit in terms of value. Then we have, I don't know, there's not really condensed spots that I like here. Like I like a little bit of everyone. Pistons are in play once again. They're resting guys like Grant Plumlee, Kojo, Ellington, all those guys. So we have interest in Killian Hayes, Josh Jackson, Isaiah Stewart, guys like that, Sadiq Bey. Obviously, Curry's playing today, so we have a lot of interest in him on both sides. Westbrook as well. Jazz are playing with no Conley, no Mitchell. So we kind of have the same thing that we've had over the past couple of weeks in terms of injuries.
Okay, just fixing up my columns over here. You ready to get into it, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. T-Bay says, I like Russ over Steph tonight. Can't believe I just said that.
Russ over Steph?
Mm-hmm.
I think I like Steph a little more. I like both of them a lot. I think on DK you can play both pretty easily. Russell Westbrook on FanDuel is 11-2. Steph is, I think, 9-7. So I think on FanDuel, Steph is the guy. On DraftKings, where it's closer in terms of pricing, I think Westbrook is the guy easily.
Okay, and then Rajon Rondo says, anyway, I think I missed a few comments today, guys. Sorry about that. If there's something that I missed, just repeat it again. I'll bring it up. Rondo said, Chris, is the Nike, I don't know how to say this, Huarache 2K4 your favorite pair of shoes you own?
No, so I think he got those a long time ago. Rondo used to wear those, so obviously he wanted them. I think I got them as well. I think we both had them. And those shoes have no grip. We were just slipping and sliding.
Isn't there
like crazy, like clean court, freshly whatever swept or whatever it's called,
waxed and swept?
Yeah, like playing at the nice courts, and it was just slip and slide.
Yeah. Got Royal King in here. What's up? First game, Chris. Indiana, Washington. Indiana side, Sumner is probable. Jeremy Lamb, Brogdon, and Bitatse. All three of those guys questionable. Jakar Sampson is out. Projected starters, Malcolm Brogdon, Sumner, Karis LeVert, O'Shea Brissett, and Domantas Sabonis. So getting Brogdon and Sabonis, Chris, back here probably. But Brogdon here, still questionable tag. Is this a difficult situation right now to gauge with three guys being questionable here?
Yeah, so the Sabonis news is pretty big. The Brogdon news, sorry. Sabonis is playing. He played last game. He put up 70 fantasy points. Had a huge game. Really good matchup here against the Wizards. But it's the first game of the slate, so we need the Brogdon news before we can make a decision here. I think if Brogdon plays, you don't really need much here in cash games, but I think if Brogdon ends up sitting, all these guys are going to become viable. So McConnell, I think he's going to be way too cheap. Karis LeVert and Sabonis. I think those three guys are going to be the guys that I'm most interested in. If Brogdon ends up sitting, like I said, I have no lean right now. First game of the slate, so I don't really need to have a lean. We will know before the slate locks. So I'm just going to kind of wait and see. Like this team is in a great spot. This is the best game environment of the entire slate. Over-under is at 246 right now, so that's one of the highest we've seen all season. So this is going to be a great game environment. I don't really know how much I need it in cash games if Brogdon plays, but like I said, if he's out, I'm going to go probably pick up a few Pacers here.
Nice. Do you hear this lawnmower today, Chris? It's Monday. Yard work Monday.
No, I don't.
That's kind of loud. Surprised it doesn't pick up. I'm actually happy it's not picking up. Other half here, Wizards side. So we've had some talk about Westy. Healthy squad here. No injury news. Projected starters, Westy, Neto, Beal, Hachimura, and Len. What are your thoughts on the Wizards today, Chris?
Yeah, so like I said, it's the best game environment of the entire slate. The Wizards are implied to score 125, so that's a monster total for them. Pretty tight spread, 4 points favoring the Wizards. So I'm going to obviously have interest in Russell Westbrook here. Beal, he's kind of expensive. I feel like I've been saying the same thing ever since he's reached this price tag. He's over 9K on both sides, so I don't need it. I'd rather just get to Westbrook if I want to play a Wizard. He does everything for this team, just so consistent, has a crazy high ceiling, has a crazy high floor as well, plays all the minutes. Obviously, they're trying to get into the play-in game, so they're going to play their guys a lot of minutes. Every game matters for them. I mean, that's also why I like the play-in tournament. It just makes these random games matter, whereas normally the Wizards would be kind of eliminated and you would have to risk them resting guys, stuff like that. I mean, I guess they're pretty close to the 8 seed, but still, I still like it a lot. But regardless, Westbrook is the guy here for me. DraftKings, he's an easy lock at 11K. Scoring system fits him better there. FanDuel, it's more of a question, like I said, because you have Steph Curry for 9.7K. So what is that? $1,400 difference between the two of them on DraftKings. It's only a $200 difference between the two of them. So I think on FanDuel, Curry, the savings with Curry actually matter quite a bit. So I might just go there, but Westbrook's definitely in play. And then the other guy that's pretty interesting here, in my opinion, is Rui Hachimura. He's 3.9K on FanDuel, so we haven't really seen a price tag this low on him all season long. On DK's 4.8, so don't need to go there on DK, but I think on FanDuel he's a pretty good value guy at small forward for 3.9. They said they wanted to extend his minutes last game. He still only played 28 in a close game. He might have gotten into foul trouble. I don't exactly remember, but I think the price tag is good. I think he could easily hit 5x here. But the problem is, I always say it, like Westbrook just does everything for this team. He gets the rebounds. Other guys know not to go for rebounds when Westbrook is around the rim. So that's what I don't love. But I don't mind him for value here on FanDuel as the last piece.
Okay. Hasty's wondering what colorway you have for those Huarache shoes.
Oh, I think we returned them, but they were just like the yellow and black 2K for Huarache. Yeah, I think they were just the normal yellow and black. Yeah, I just looked it up, black and yellow.
Okay. David says, what are your thoughts on Gafford, Chris?
Gafford, I mean, I'm fine with him. Probably more so in tournaments, but we've seen him get into foul trouble sometimes. Minutes are pretty inconsistent. They run 3 bigs in Len, Lopez, and obviously Gafford. So I don't know. I'm fine with him as a last piece in tournaments, but I don't think you need that value in cash games today.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. So next game up, we have Orlando Magic against the Detroit Pistons. Orlando side first, we have James Ennis out, MCW out, Otto Porter out, T. Ross out, Chuma Kiki out. Then we have a 10-day contract here for Ignas Brazdeikis. Yeah, I'm not sure how to say that one, Chris. Do you know how to say that one? Justin probably knows. We got
they call him Iggy, and he was on the Knicks before.
We already have an Iggy in the league, though.
I mean, we have a Melo as well, and we have a new Melo.
Yeah, but some people don't like that. Gary Harris, probable for the Magic, and then projected starters, Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Bacon, Mo Wagner, and Wendell Carter Jr. Thoughts on the Magic, Chris, going up against the Pistons?
So there's only one guy that I'm interested in here. It's their new addition, Mo Wagner. He's been starting since he's come there. Last game he played 34 minutes in a close game against the Grizzlies, 36 fantasy points. We played him that night. I think he's in play once again here just because he's getting the minutes. They're very injured. Okiki's out, so that kind of solidifies Wagner's minutes. And I mean, they're missing a bunch of other guys as well. So it's kind of a tanking team here. We know that they want to give Wagner a run. So that's why I like him. He's 4.9 on FanDuel, where it's more of a question if you want to play him there. I think on DK, where he is 4.6K, I believe. I think he's a lock there. You can play him at power forward. You can play him at center, so that helps a bit. So I do like him for value on DK a lot. FanDuel, like I said, you don't need him as much as DK, but I think he's a solid last piece if you do land there.
Okay, and then let's look up this Iggy guy. Apparently he's a Canadian hooper, Chris. Lithuanian-born Canadian hooper.
Yeah, I think he actually played with RJ when he was coming up in Canada. So they were on the same team. I think they were friends on the Knicks as well. So, yeah.
Let's see his name. Ignas Brazdeikis.
Not that hard.
Yeah, Ignas Brazdeikis. There we go. What does he do, Chris? Doesn't score. I mean, this is
No, he
his...
doesn't. No, he doesn't play. That's what he. That's what he does, or doesn't do.
That's true. He doesn't play. Um, okay, so we got that out of the way. Hasty says played at Orangeville Prep. ... We should know that, Chris.
No, I knew. Like, look up his name and look up RJ Barrett after. I bet you'll find some pictures with them together. Go to images. I mean, you could see their friends. They posed at the Empire State Building together. Yeah, I think they came up together. Both. Wait, go to that FIBA U17 top left Canada. Yeah, that one. Click it.
Yeah, having some... Let's see. We need to do this. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so I don't know where RJ is, but that's Iggy, number 13.
Yep. Yeah, Canada basketball is getting better and better. I love that. That's good. Let's see. Austin says Alex Caruso will start tonight for the first time this season and the first time since Game 6 of last year's finals.
I mean, yeah, Caruso. Everyone loves Caruso. He actually started last game against the Raptors yesterday, so second game in a row. But yeah, before that, it was did he start in the finals? I think he did. Game 6, right?
That's what he said. Austin said that.
Yeah, but yeah, he started yesterday as well. But yeah, he's a solid play.
Yeah, Austin was also asking, I think it was him in a Discord, adding like a salary filter thingy. We do have it here. I think you showed him, right? Just click this guy and then, yeah, then it works right there. Okay, let's move on. Hasty says TO basketball world isn't that big. Javante Rogers says risky for Caruso.
Caruso.
It's a risky play.
I like him on DK a lot. FanDuel, I don't think you need him. I'd rather go to Killian Hayes, but on DK, he's the minimum.
Okay. Yeah, Hasty just knows all these like grassroots. He says played together AAU for grassroots. What is that? Is that a AAU squad? I thought he meant like grassroots, like training together from the bottom. Yeah, Javante says yes on FanDuel risky.
Yeah.
Brent says Caruso is really Alex Baker in an NBA uniform.
Who said that? Was that Rainmaker? I'm surprised Rainmaker didn't say that.
Brent said that. But yeah. Yeah, he really plays that one up, hey? Alex Baker, he loves that one a lot. Yeah. Hasty says, big Caruso fan, led the biggest comeback in CBB history at Texas A&M. One of the best games I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go over Detroit, Chris. Looks like they're resting a lot of their veterans, their vets. So we got Plumdog Millionaire out, Dennis Smith Jr. out, Kojo out, Ellington out, Okafor out, Grant out, Magruder out, Hamidou Diallo questionable, and then Killian Hayes back in. Projected starters: Hayes, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Dumbuya, and Isaiah Stewart. Any interest here, Chris, on the Pistons side?
Yeah, so I have interest in these guys. I feel like I always do whenever they play, and we have Grant, Plumlee, all these guys resting, Kojo, Ellington, Magruder, all these older guys on the team. So we do have interest in the younger guys here. I'll start with Josh Jackson. He's 5'2" on FanDuel. I think he's just a lock there. Same thing on DK, 5'6". I think he's also a lock. He just becomes the high usage guy here on this team. Played 34 minutes last game. Had a pretty tough game against Charlotte, but I mean, the minutes were there. That's all we really care about. This guy's always been really good point per minute. Whenever he gets run near the end of the season, he always produces. So he's one of those guys that we've kind of always played at the end of the years. Obviously, he was with the Suns for a few seasons, and then Memphis. We didn't really play him last year in Memphis, but when he was on the Suns, he always played well at the end of the season. So I have a lot of interest in him. I think he's one of my favorite cash game pieces on this entire slate. Could have made him the cover, but I didn't want to put a random guy like Josh Jackson, who most people don't know just by face. So I didn't do that. I put Westbrook instead. But I like Josh Jackson a lot. Probably my favorite play on the slate. And then we have Killian Hayes, who's also a great play. Also on FanDuel, he's 4.4K over there. DraftKings, they priced him up to 5.2. So it's not as necessary over there, but I like him a lot on FanDuel. I prefer him over someone like Caruso in terms of point guard value. So I think he's pretty easy to get to over there as well. So I like going with Killian Hayes, and then Stewart's the last guy here. He's 6'3" on FanDuel. DraftKings, he's always been more expensive there. He's 6.3 as well today, though. But in the past, we've kind of seen Stewart always cheaper on FanDuel. But I do like him a lot, both sites. I think he's reached a price point where it's kind of, you don't need to play him anymore. He's just a really solid play at his price point. So if I land there, I'm fine with it. If I don't land there, I'm also fine with it. He can get into foul trouble. I think he did last game. He didn't have a great game, but he can also crush point per minute. So I think he's a solid last piece. I think the price is where it should be on both sites. So if I land there, I'm fine with it. If I don't land there, I'm fine with it as well. And then Sadiq Bey, another guy who's in play in this situation. He went for 50 last game. He's 5'9" on DK, FanDuel 5'6", so I don't mind him as a last piece either. So I think it's going to be those four guys mainly.
Okay. Let's see. Wendy also says Caruso won't produce enough.
I mean, he'll definitely. I think he'll produce enough to pay off his 3K price tag on DraftKings. That's way too cheap without Schroeder, without LeBron. But on FanDuel, you don't need it.
Yep. What's his price on FanDuel?
I think it's 3.7, but I mean, minimum on DraftKings means a lot more. You can also kind of fit the studs into different places, whereas on FanDuel, you're limited with the positions, only 2 per position other than center. So it's easier to get these value guys on DK. That's just how it always is.
Yeah, makes sense. Next game up, Golden State Warriors against the New Orleans Pelicans. Warriors squad first, Damian Lee out, Kelly Oubre Jr. out, Eric Pascal out, and then we got Andrew Wiggins marked as questionable. Projected starters, Steph Curry, Wiggins if he is in, Bazemore, Green, and Kevon Looney. Any interest here, Chris, on the Warriors squad?
Yeah, so could we just pull up the standings real quick once again? I think it's pretty important here. So let's go to the West. Yeah, so you can see that the Warriors they're in the mix here. So I think these teams in the 6 or 5 to 11 range, they're all always going to be interesting at this point of the season, just because we know that they're going to get minutes. They're all trying to move up in the standings. So the Warriors here, no different. They're obviously trying to move up, probably going to pass the Grizzlies by the end of the season, and then have a better position in the play-in tournament. But yeah, I love the Warriors here. Steph Curry, I just think it's a game where he's going to get a lot of minutes. Usage rate is always high. He's going to shoot 25 plus times. Only 9.7K on FanDuel, which I think is way too cheap. I think you have to play him there. And then on DK, it's more of a question for 10.8. So I think that's the highest we've seen on him all year long. But I still love him there. I think with the value that we have, like Caruso, we'll talk about Taj Gibson later, Mo Wagner on the Magic. I think with this value, we can fit both Westbrook and Curry on DK. So I do like doing that. But on FanDuel, like I said, it's more of a decision between him and Westbrook. Currently prefer Curry. I love the game environment here as well. Going up against the Pelicans, like we just showed with the standings, they're trying to win games. So he's going to get a lot of minutes in a competitive game. The spread here is only 2.5, favoring the Pelicans. So he's going to do what he can to win the game for the Warriors. So that's why I like him a lot. And then these other guys, they're viable as well, like Draymond, Wiggins, Bazemore. Obviously, Oubre's out, so that's why Bazemore is in play. Bazemore is probably my second favorite cash game guy. I don't need him or anything like that today, but I think he's a solid piece. And then I mentioned Draymond and Wiggins. I think they're good tournament plays.
Okay. Let's go to the other half. So we have Pelicans here. Josh Hart out for them. Nickeil Alexander-Walker out. Should be back soon. Steven Adams, questionable. Projected starters, Lonzo Ball, Bledsoe, B.I., Zion, and Adams if he is in. Is this Adams questionable tag a big one today, Chris, for the Pelicans, for our interest in them today, or no?
I mean, sort of. Like, if he doesn't play, then obviously Hernan Gomez becomes a better play. But at the same time, Adams has missed a few games in a row now. So Hernan Gomez is kind of priced where he should be for this role. But obviously he would get the biggest bump. But I like this matchup a lot for the Pelicans as well, against the Warriors. They're implied to score 119. Always have interest in Zion. Always have interest in Ingram. I think they're both very solid plays here. I think they're both cheaper on FanDuel. I feel like I keep saying that every time we talk about them. So on FanDuel, Zion is 9K, Ingram is 7.4, and then on DK, Zion is 10K, Ingram is 8.2. So they're both going to be more interesting on FanDuel. I think they're very, very good plays here. I'm likely to play both of them on FanDuel just because they're way too cheap for this matchup, where they're implied to score almost 120 points. So I love both of them on FanDuel. And then on DK, more tournament plays just because they're priced way up, so it's hard to get there. And then Lonzo's the other guy I want to mention quickly, just because he's been playing out of his mind recently. I think he's a really solid tournament play, but you just can't do it in cash games for his price point here.
Okay. Hasty says Lakers will pay for front loading and easy schedule. About to go 4-4 at best. What do you make of that one, Chris?
4-4 in their last 8.
I guess so, yeah.
Who are they playing?
Let's load that up. And then I do know, I think for a fact, this was at the start of the season, but I saw that they did have, I don't know if it's because they won the championship, but they did have the fewest back-to-back games. It's a quite significant amount from how few they had compared to how many the team with the most back-to-backs had. I think it was like 7+ or something back-to-backs. At least something like that, the difference between that. I was trying to find it, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, so they just lost to the Raptors. They lost to the Kings. So, I mean, those are 2 games they definitely should have won, especially the Kings one. Nuggets, Clippers, Portland, Suns, Knicks, Rockets, Pacers, Pelicans. I mean, these are some tough ones. The Nuggets, Clippers, Blazers, Suns, those are pretty tough ones. Knicks too.
Yeah, I mean, that would be crazy in the play if they're in the playing game. Like that would draw in all the attention to that game. So
LeBron
it would be
sit.
great. LeBron definitely wouldn't sit. I mean, that would be great for the league. That game might be more watched than like a finals game. Like do or die with LeBron James. That's insane. That's why I love playing.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot of, if that happens, we'll get a lot of excuses and then probably a lot of shade thrown at the league from LeBron, probably even more about the play-in. Yeah, this one's pretty tough. Like of these teams, Chris, how many are like pretty safe? Like I think the Nuggets aren't clinched, but they're pretty close. Suns are clinched. Clippers clinched. Like, do these clinched teams not care as much? Like, is it more about getting their team healthy for the playoffs, or are they also concerned about like what team they're gonna potentially play based on their standings? Like, what do you make of the schedule here? Like, what other teams here are fighting for a spot still?
Well, I mean, seeding matters. Like at the same time, you don't want to be the second seed and then play the Lakers in the first round, or the first seed if they end up being the 8th seed. So it's kind of a tricky situation. But I mean, I don't know. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I love the play-in games. We saw it last year with Portland and Memphis. It was just awesome. So I'm very excited.
Yeah. Only reason we're giving Lakers this much attention, is it because of LeBron, or is it because it's the LA Lakers? Like, I don't even like the Lakers that much. This is how much attention I would give to the Raptors if they were doing better.
It's LeBron for sure.
Yeah. David says, what are your thoughts on Dougie McDermott? Do you prefer him over Mo Wagner on DK, where McBuckets is 600 cheaper?
No, I prefer Mo Wagner. I mean, I don't mind McDermott. He's more of a tournament guy. He's very scoring reliant. That's the problem with him. But if he starts again, it'll be a great play. But usually he doesn't start. But he started last game, so that's something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, and then last thing here before we move on, Hasty says they will be in the play-in unless the refs help them now.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they're in the play-in. That's going to be must-watch basketball.
I hope so too. Especially after he said that the play-ins are dumb. I really, really, really hope that they get in the play-in. Yeah, Royal King says it's the LBJ effect. But yeah, Portland, Atlanta, next game up. So I already have the Trailblazers loaded up here, Chris. So let's go over them. Just have Norm Powell marked as questionable. Projected starters: Lillard, McCollum, Powell, Rocco, and Nurkic. So it's a back-to-back for the Blazers here, going up against the Hawks. Anybody that you like here, Chris?
I mean, Dame and CJ on FanDuel, they're kind of cheaper there, similar to the Pelicans guys. They're both cheaper on FanDuel than they are in DK. So if I'm going to play them, it's going to be on FanDuel. I don't think you need it in cash games today, just because we're kind of loaded at these two positions. But I think in tournaments, they're very interesting. We saw the upside Dame has yesterday. He went for 60 on FanDuel. CJ went for 50, so they can do it together in the same game. Good game environment here. Over-unders at 236. Spread is tight, 2.5 favoring the Hawks. So I definitely don't mind playing them, but they are both more tournament plays for me here. Just don't need them in cash games. I don't think you need anyone here in cash games, but I do love Dame and CJ in tournaments.
Okay. Let's move on to the Atlanta side. So let me just load it up. Over there, we have DeAndre Hunter marked as out. Bogdanovich probable. Tony Snell in. Projected starters: Ice Tray, Bogey, Tony Snell, John Collins, and Clint Capella. So anybody on the Hawks side, Chris? Usually we like to target teams going up against the Blazers.
Yeah, but they're pretty healthy. I mean, like I said, it's a good game environment, but it's just not a game that really pops for DFS today, just because both teams are pretty healthy. Prices are where they should be, in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if someone here ends up in the optimal team at the end of the night. But I mean, we don't really know. Like Trae Young has ceiling games occasionally. Clint Capella does as well. So if you're playing tournaments, I don't mind Trae Young. I don't mind Capella. But just for the price tag, I think we have better plays with more like injury, more where they can take advantage of more injury news. So I don't know. I like in tournaments, but don't need it in cash games here today.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I sort of really like Capella here in tournaments. Sort of kind of a downward trend in the price. Also performance here last, 5 games. But I mean, prior to that, I think he's been pretty consistent with like getting over, I don't know, like around 50, 45, 60 sometimes. So seems like how do bigs do typically against Portland, Chris? Because are there more shots, more rebounds, things like that?
I mean, I don't really look at it like that. I more so look at it like, does the other team play a big for most of the game? And the answer here is yes, because they always have Nurkic or Kanter on the court. So I like the matchup. If you look at the game log, they've been in blowouts recently. They've been on the losing side of blowouts. So obviously he's not going to have big games. And also Trae Young has missed a bunch of those games. So I feel like we always say it. We like Capella more when Trae Young does play.
Okay. Let's move on to the next game. Philadelphia, Chicago. Let's go over Philadelphia. Away team first. Nobody noted for injuries on their side, so healthy squad. Good to see that. Expected starters, projected starters: Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Toby, and Joel Embiid. Anybody here, Chris, on the Sixers side that you like?
No, I think we're probably going to get a bunch of these guys ruled out probably in 5 minutes with the injury report that comes out. I mean, this is a back-to-back. They're already clinched. There's just no reason for them to play. There was a report yesterday where they said that they're going to start resting guys just because they're in a stretch of 5 games and 7 nights. This is the back end of a back-to-back. They went into OT yesterday. So, I mean, if they play, it doesn't make sense to play any of them just because we got that report yesterday. If they don't play, we're going to have a ton of interest in these guys. So I'm just gonna wait and see on the news here.
Okay, let's go over the other half. Chicago side, we have Troy Brown Jr. out, Zach LaVine doubtful. Is he cleared from the health and safety now, or no? He's still there, right?
I'm not sure because he's doubtful, so that means he's probably cleared, just getting his conditioning back up, because otherwise he would be out.
Okay. Nikola Vucevic questionable as well. Projected starters: Kobe White, Temple, Pat Williams, Tice, and Vuce if he is in. So yeah, this Vucevic questionable tag, Chris, is that another interesting one here for today?
Not really, because I think he plays here. I mean, he was ruled in 2 days ago, and then he was late scratch, so that means he was good enough to play. He got 2 extra days of rest now, so I think he's going to be fine. But I mean, I don't love the matchup here against Philly. They're only implied to score 103. So I'm not too interested in the Bulls here, but I do think Vooch will end up playing. If he's out, then we're going to play Thaddeus Young once again. He started last game for Vooch. I think he went for 46 on both sites, something like that. 20 real-life points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. So he stuffs the stat sheet if he does start, if he gets the minutes. So I'll have a lot of interest in Thad Young if that happens. But like I said, I think Vooch does end up playing here tonight.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. We have the Knicks against the Grizzlies. New York side, Alec Burks questionable, Noel questionable. Projected starters, Payton, Bullock, Barrett, Randall, and Noel. Are these two questionable tags interesting today, Chris, with Burks there, or no?
Yeah, so Noel's a big one just because when he's out, we've seen Taj Gibson jump into their starting lineup, plays a ton of minutes because he's their backup big. I think Noel actually misses this game. So I do like Taj Gibson a lot. I have a lot of interest in him on DK where he's 3.1K. Just another value guy similar to Caruso. Obviously, Caruso's in a much better spot. I think Taj Gibson is interesting just because he gives you the salary to spend up for two studs in Westbrook and Curry together. I think if you're not playing Taj Gibson, you can't play them both. So I do have interest in Taj Gibson for value on DK here.
Did someone in the chat, yes, I think someone said this in our Discord, book Gibson and Caruso for like 80 combined fantasy points or something today?
I think that was today. I think it might have been Deshaun. He says Taj Gibson and Alex Caruso are going to combine for 85 fantasy points tonight. Book it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind that at all. I think I'm going to play both of them on DK.
Yeah, who would mind that if they play them? But 85 is quite a lot. Memphis side, we just have Grayson Allen. He is questionable. Projected starters, Jaw, Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, and Jonas. Who do you like there, Chris?
Not much here. We're kind of getting into the games that I don't like as much. I have a ton of interest in the Indiana-Washington game, Golden State Pelicans, Detroit for value. So we kind of talked about all my favorite teams so far. I think I like Utah. That's probably going to be the only other team that I really like that we'll talk about. But I don't have much interest in the Grizzlies here going up against the Knicks. It's just a pace-down spot. Maybe Joe Val, maybe John Morant, but I just don't feel great about it. They run like 13 deep.
Yep, they do. Let's move on to the next one. Denver. Is it Denver? Yeah, that's the next one. Denver against LA, so back-to-back for LA. Denver side, we have Monte Morris and Barden, both out. Zeke, Najee, questionable. Projected starters, Campazzo, Dozier, Gordon, Porter, and Nikola Jokic. Anybody here, Chris, on the Denver side?
Yeah, so Jokic is interesting. Kind of as the second spend up alongside Westbrook on DK. I think there's a decision between Curry and Jokic. They're both priced, I think, the same. Or Jokic is actually $100 more. So there's a decision there. Projections like Curry right now by 0.1 fantasy points. So there's a decision, like I'm saying. I don't know who I currently prefer. It's probably Curry because of the better game environment. He's currently in the optimal, so probably lean with Curry. But yeah, Jokic, he's right there as a spend up. Even on FanDuel, like I think he's going to be quite interesting in tournaments. I don't think anyone's going to spend up there today. I think people are going to go a little cheaper there just so they can spend up for guys like Zion, Ingram, Curry, or Westbrook at point guard. So I don't think that Jokic is going to be very popular on FanDuel. I think he's a really good tournament play over there. And then DK, he's viable in cash games. And then the guy I want to mention on FanDuel on the Nuggets here is going to be Aaron Gordon. He's 4.3K, which is one of the lowest price tags we've seen on him in probably 3 years. So last game he was 4.6. Now he's 4.3. So he doesn't need much to pay off his salary here. He only needs like 22, 23 fantasy points. I think he can easily get there. He's not playing a ton of minutes, but they're missing a few guys like Barton, Morris. So I mean, he does have the possibility to, or like he has a route to get to more minutes if he's playing well. So I don't mind him as a value piece on FanDuel for 4.3. I think he's interesting as a last piece. I'm not going to sit here and say I love him, but I think he works there if you need that salary.
Yep. Remember we had that stretch where we were playing Aaron Gordon, Chris, and he just kept like going off. Not like going off, I mean like leaving the games early or just like being a bum. And then remember the one where against the Raptors, I think, where I think we played him here too, right?
Lowry,
smart in the playoffs, right? Or just in the bubble.
Yeah, this one he got hurt
threw
here.
up his hand and acknowledged the
Yeah, that was
then,
regular.
I think when they played again this year, what happened this year?
Stay in the game.
This year, he got hurt once again against the Raptors this year.
And Zach Zarba with a whistle. I think that they're going
on the free throw
to take
line.
a look at this. Oh, yeah, there's intent there.
Yeah, there's definitely intent. And this
Yeah,
goes
he
back
didn't
to
get hurt in
the
this
bubble,
exact play, but he got hurt this game.
you know,
I think he got hurt like a minute later.
Gordon got hurt.
Out for like a month or so.
Yeah.
Do
Do you think he's still hurt, or is he just that small role there in Denver?
And
Yeah,
again,
just a
that was
smaller
definite-
role. He was kind of playing point forward for the Magic. Obviously now Jokic is here, but he's a really solid piece. Like, he cuts at the right times. He does the right things. He's a good defender. So I think he does have a route to get to like 25 fantasy points here. And I mean, we know that he has the talent as well. So that's why I like playing him. I don't like playing random exercise guys who suck, like, I don't know, Zeke Naji, Shaq Harrison, JaMychal Green. I like these guys who are actually talented a little bit.
Yep. Deshaun says, yeah, it was me for the book it for, was it 85? 85 fantasy points. Hasty says, Taj Gibson must be 100 years old now. Tibbs loves that guy.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah, he does. And then he's also wondering if this game is in LA. It is in LA. Everyone likes to show out in LA for Denver. Do you like that narrative?
I mean, yeah, I think it's a decent one. Is it on national TV? I like the national TV narratives. Usually Lakers get the national TV games. Let me just check. So, yes, it is. The first ESPN game is Warriors-Pelicans, so that makes me like Curry, and then the second ESPN game is the Nuggets-Lakers.
It's risk getting any national TV with LeBron. He's going to sit most of them, a lot of them. I mean, it's just the Caruso today for national TV. And Drummond. Willie says Aaron Gordon's minutes are not reliable. Fade him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's a great play. I'm saying he's a good last piece for 4-3 if you can't spend up anywhere else. I think he fits an optimal build today for 4-3 at power forward 2.
Yep. Hasty says, why did Gordon pop him like that? Lowry was just doing Lowry things. That was a clean, dirty shot. All good depending on context.
Yeah, that one was dirty. Hasty sent me a Paul George pushing Campazzo. It wasn't too bad, but this one he kind of put more force into it. Do you know what I'm talking about with Paul George? No?
No, but this is the first one, so I mean, he just got hurt here. Pulled his arm down, kind of, but I mean, like, is this a dirty foul?
I don't know. I think he's probably more upset because he missed a lot of time.
I love that Lowry threw up his hand.
That's probably frustrating.
Yeah, I don't think that was the dirtiest foul, but then yeah, this. Oh my god, this was like months later. I think people were expecting this. This is kind of like Todd Bertuzzi and Steve Moore. Is that his name?
No, it's nothing like that.
And Zach Zarba with a whistle. I think that they're going to take a look at this. Oh, yeah, there's intent there.
Yeah, there's definitely
I mean, at the same time, Lowry flopped a bit. Like, let's be real. He flopped a little bit.
So I think that they're going to
Look, he knew it was coming too.
take a look at this. Oh, yeah, there's
He
intent
fell
there.
back before he even got hit. Put it in
There's intent
0.25
there.
speed. You can
That
see
they're
him
gonna-
already falling backwards.
This is the quality type of quality DFS analysis you get here at crunch time.
Take a look at this. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a dirty hit, but at the same time, you gotta admit that Lowry embellished it a little bit.
Of course. Huge flop by Kalo. He could have avoided it from Hasty.
Who said that? Yes, thank
And
you.
then also says first one was all good, just no layups a lot. Yeah, I don't think it was like that dirty of a play. It was just a foul. It was an unfortunate landing for him. Roy King says Lowry good at flopping. Willie says LeBron afraid to play against Nikola in national TV game, an MVP matchup. I mean, that'd be a good show for the fans. Lakers reeling, having lost 6 of 7, but LeBron running to bench.
What does that even mean?
Says probably Lakers are concerned that they're losing all these games, but LeBron is running to the bench just to avoid this matchup, national TV matchup against Jokic, Chris. MVP candidate matchup.
Jokic is the guy this year. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Hasty and Willie are going to get along quite well. Sean says real quick, who's the best play at util for 4-9? We can do that here. So let's just do that. Is there a price?
Wagner. I like Wagner.
Wagner, yeah, 4-8, 4-6.
Yeah.
Seems to be quite a few actually here. Pretty good value, but yeah, Wagner chalkiest one here.
Yeah, I don't think you need to play Wagner is the only guy I'd play here. If you're playing anyone else, I'd go down a little lower to someone like Caruso, or go up a little bit to Kuzma with no LeBron, no Schroeder as well for 5.2K, so only 300 more. That's what I would do.
All right. Let's go over the Lakers side, Chris, for this game. So we did Denver. We have AD, Kuzma, Caruso, Gasol, and KCP all marked as probable. LBJ marked as dodging the MVP matchup. Projected starters, Caruso, KCP, Kuzma, AD, and my boy Andre Drummond. Feels like this could be a Drummond night, Chris, for tournaments. 1% ownership.
At that point, why wouldn't you just play Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis is a stud. We've seen him in the past on the Pelicans put up 60 plus on a nightly basis. It's a back-to-back, so that's the concern with him. But I think AD is the guy here in tournaments, just because he has all the upside. I'd rather play him than Drummond. But in cash games, I'm not going to play either of those guys. I'm going to play some of the value that we have with Schroeder and LeBron being out. I think these guys are priced better on DraftKings. So I'll start with Caruso for only 3K. He got the start yesterday. He's expected to get the start once again today. 3K on DK, 3.7 on FanDuel. So I like the price tag for him on both sites. Obviously, it's better on DraftKings where he's the minimum. But on FanDuel, I think he's a decent play. I like him in tournaments. He has stocks upside as well. So I don't mind him on FanDuel, but like I said, I like him a lot more in DraftKings. And then we have Kyle Kuzma as well, who's only 5.2K on DK. On FanDuel, he's 5.5 at small forward. We have a few other small forwards like Ingles, who I'd rather play for 200 more on FanDuel. So I think on DK, he's another guy who's also a better play over there. Just a really good price tag for him in this situation. Likely going to be the third option here, or second option even. Drummond's probably going to have a better game, but in terms of scoring, I think Kuzma is going to be the second option. He's been playing pretty well recently, getting minutes as well. So I like Kuzma here for 5-2.
Okay. Question from Deshaun, Chris, AD or Zion? DK, he's a DK guy.
AD or Zion? Give me Zion. Just better matchup. Not a back-to-back like it is for AD. Give me Zion.
Okay. And then caught a message, I think I saw a message about Trey Lyles, but it's retracted. But is he out?
Yeah, I think Trey Lyles is out. Yeah. Why?
Oh, I saw a message, but it was retracted, so I was just going to ask you about it. Let's see. Willie says Nikola came into the season all buff and in playing shape. Probably stopped drinking his Coca-Cola, Chris. Didn't let the COVID 20 pounds get to him. Like no discipline, big mouth LeBron.
Yeah, Jokic is just a stud.
Yeah, he's a beast. RJ Barrett gonna rock tonight. Solid lock from Willie.
I don't know. If Burks is out once again, then sure. But if Burks is back, RJ is not going to get as many minutes anymore. He's been playing 40 plus ever since Burke has gone out, or Burks, sorry. So keep an eye out for that. If Burks is out once again, then RJ's fine. Definitely not a lock, but a solid play for the minutes he gets.
Okay, let's move on. Last game of the slate, Chris. Spurs against the Jazz. San Antonio side, we have Pirtle, Murray, and DeMar. They were marked as probable. So still the case. Trey Lyles out. Projected starters, DeJounte Murray, Devin Vassell, DeMar DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, and Jakob. Any interest here, Chris, on the Spurs side? It's going up against Utah, so tough team to face. Yeah.
We just got news about Brogdon. So that makes TJ McConnell a really good play. So Brogdon is out, confirmed. So yeah, what team are we talking about? The Spurs here. I don't really have interest in the Spurs. We had interest in them yesterday with DeMar and DeJounte resting the front end of the back-to-back. And Pirtle, sorry, forgot about him. But they're all going to be back here. We looked at the standings. The Spurs are in the mix for the play-in game, so for that reason, I think they're interesting in tournaments. But you don't need anyone here in cash games when they're fully healthy. Don't mind DeMar just for the upside that he has, but I always don't love playing him. But he gets a lot of minutes now. They're fighting for that playoff spot. I think they do want to get there. So I don't mind DeMar. DeJounte, a little bit priced up, so I'd rather play DeMar. Yeah, that's probably it for me. Just tournaments here.
Okay. I see some questions, but we'll just go over this last team here for the slate, then we'll get into them. So next up, we have the Jazz to go over. Let me just do the filter. So on the Jazz side, we have Conley out, Mitchell out, and then Azbuke also out. Projected starters: Jingle Joe, Royce O'Neal, Bogdanovich, Bojan Bogdanovich, George Niang, and Rudy Gobert. Any interest here, Chris, on the Jazz side?
Yeah, so I have some interest in basically their main guys here: Clarkson, Ingles, and Gobert. I think they're all better plays on FanDuel, maybe outside of Ingles, who's a good play on both sites. But they're all a little cheaper on FanDuel, so that's why I like him there more. I'll start with Ingles. He's 5'7" on FanDuel, 6'6" on DK. Still viable for me on DK, but like I said, I do like him more on FanDuel. Probably with this Pacers news, he's going to fall out of the DK lineup. We'll have to wait for that. But yeah, I like Ingles. He hasn't been playing great, honestly, ever since Mitchell and Conley have gone out. But still, we know the talent he has. We know the opportunity that he has in this situation, so that's why we like him. Clarkson, same sort of thing. Hasn't been playing great, but we know the upside that he has as well. He's been coming off the bench. I kind of wish they start him. But, I mean, even off the bench, he's a really good play. 6'5" on FanDuel, so I do like that price tag. DraftKings, another guy that's more expensive here, 7.3, so you don't need to go there. And then Gobert is the other guy, 7.8 on FanDuel, 8.8K on DK. So I like him a lot in FanDuel in cash games as your center. I think he's a solid option there against the Spurs. But yeah, not on DK.
Okay. Okay, so the comments, Chris, we have some LeBron talk here. I have a question, actually, to follow up one of the questions or comments. Because I've heard it before. Royal King says, fun fact, and then he's quoting Willie. He says, no discipline, big mouth LeBron. That's the quote. Spends $1.5 million a year on his body. And then Dinda, right after that, he says, just for the hair plugs.
Jesus Christ.
That's a good one. I was going to ask, what does he spend on his body 1.5? Like, do we have a breakdown of that? Because, I'm just wondering, what is it? Like, does he count? Obviously, you would count all the food that you eat. That's on your body. You would count, gyms, personal trainers. You have all that, your staff. If you're renting a gym to train for basketball, which is what a lot of players already do, you'd count that. But, what does he do extra? I know he works hard. I'm not saying that. He definitely works a lot harder than a lot of athletes. I think that's part of the reason why he's so durable. But what does he, how does the money add up? Do you know?
Probably all those I don't know what it's called, the frozen therapy. I don't remember the name.
With an H, hyper something. I don't know.
Yeah, yes, the chamber, whatever it's called. He probably has one of those. Probably has just a bunch of different equipment. That's all in I don't know, testing phases. So he has to pay more for them. I don't know, just a bunch of stuff probably. I mean, I believe it. I think that it's obviously, I think it's true just because he's LeBron James. He has a ton of money, so obviously he wants top of the line stuff for everything he buys. But yeah, I don't know. What's the question really? What's he spend it on?
Yeah, that was my question. How does it add up? And then what's the difference between him and other players in terms of spending money? Because I'm sure a lot of players do similar things. Maybe he just installs them in his house or builds facilities nearby where he lives, as opposed to other players just maybe they go to a facility that has it.
Yeah, he probably has it all in his own house, whereas other players have to go to the training facility, the team training facility. I don't know. Probably
Yeah.
something like that.
I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, you probably don't need to spend 1.5 to have all that, but I mean, it makes it more accessible and I guess comfortable for him to have it closer. But I feel like a lot of the players also have access to that, but they probably just don't spend that much on it. Body therapy. David says cryo chamber.
Yeah. That.
Let's see if we can buy one in Canada. Cryotherapy, Canada.com. Amazon, is that the place?
I mean, it could be. Probably not.
I don't think, is that it? 30K, 61K, another 175 to 280. I mean, yeah, it adds up. I have a feeling he just like installs all this stuff and buys it like at his house or something, or like facilities that he wants for himself. That's probably how it adds up. Yeah, let's get into the 3 pillars of the day, Chris. 3 key plays here. Start off with the overall play of the day. Safest play, cash and tournaments. FanDuel first, Chris. Who's your guy there?
FanDuel favorite play. Let's go with. We got this Pacers news now, so it might change a little bit. I'll say Zion for 9K. I like that price tag a lot.
Okay. Value play, Chris, on FanDuel. Who do you have there?
I'll go with Josh Jackson for 5-2.
Nice. And then tournament play. Who's your boy?
Who's my boy? Alex Sabonis here against the Wizards. He's 9.8K, so maybe people won't play him. Maybe they will now with Brogdon out, but I like him a lot in this matchup against the Wiz.
Okay. Getting some LeBron updates, Chris, here in the chat. So apparently he uses one of these, hyperbaric chamber. Do you know what this is?
Yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about. Like, he has this, the cryotherapy chamber, a bunch of stuff. So it all adds up. Like, he's not just getting the cheapest one either. He's probably getting the best one. Like, he has all the money in the world to afford it. At the same time, how's he not getting sponsored for this stuff? I mean, he probably is, and just saying he spends it, but who knows?
Is this him?
Yeah.
What? Let's see. He says LeBron's going to have top-of-the-line game-ready machines, everything that goes with that, food, steroids, cryo, trainers, massage, they're all on call 24/7.
I like how he slipped in the steroids in there.
Yeah, I mean, Hasty mentioned the steroids a few times, so I had to bring it up once for him.
Everyone knows that.
Steroids, you're with that one too?
Yeah, I mean, he recovers faster than anyone else, and I mean, it's not really possible unless you're injecting, I don't know exactly what, but
Peptides, steroids, all that sort of jazz, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the amount of money on the line here, it'd be naive to think that you wouldn't do that if you could. Deshaun says Curry or Westy, Chris?
DK, I'll say Westbrook. FanDuel, I will say Steph.
Okay. Hasty says own gym, hot tub, cold pools, etc. Timothy Kershaw says LBJ, yeah, hyperbaric chamber. That's how I got that one from Timothy. Willie says ankle sprain keeping him out of a major matchup game on national TV. Don't think so. Tape it up, you wuss. Marvich played with arthritic knees and a bad heart.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But you gotta realize at the same time, like LeBron, he's all about the longevity, whereas someone like Pistol Pete or whoever he was talking about,
Pistol Pete, yeah,
didn't really care about longevity because it wasn't really a big thing back then. But obviously, LeBron wants to make NBA money for as long as possible.
Yeah, LeBron's all about, he wants to make as much money as he can, I think. So if you're approaching it from the point of making as much money as you can, it makes sense. Dinda says Pistol Pete YouTube videos are insane. Might have to watch some after this show. Let me just save that for Pistol Pete. I'll watch some afterwards. Let's see. Hasty says the roid use is wild in the NBA, totally unchecked. Look at Dwight Howard these days.
I mean, look at Giannis. Like, Giannis came in a scrawny kid. Now he has huge shoulders, which that's where you get the biggest growth from steroids. Like, he's wide. He's as wide as I don't know. What's something that's wide? Like my monitor here. He's as wide as my monitor.
A Hummer.
Yeah. I mean, he came in like probably my width.
He came in as a smart car, and now he's a Hummer.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I think Giannis is probably the most obvious guy in terms of steroids usage.
Yeah, you take some steroids. Yeah, you get a juicy contract. You become MVP. Who knows?
I mean, he's also the guy that he's a guy that it helps a lot more because LeBron is skilled. LeBron's like a really good playmaker, became a great shooter now, whereas Giannis is all about his athleticism. So I think if you want to complain about one guy mainly for steroids, I think it's got to be Giannis.
Yeah. Let's see. He says, yes, they are. Put up all his stats in only 3 years at LSU. His freshman numbers are insane. Royal King says, didn't John Collins get suspended for steroid use? Yeah, him and was it Aiden as well? DeAndre Aiden last year or 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah,
last year.
Yeah. Let's go over DK, Chris. Overall play there. Who's your guy?
DK. I'll go with Westbrook here because he's 11K. Just very easy to get to on DraftKings.
Okay. Hasty says you're spot on with your analysis on Giannis. Who's your value guy, Chris?
Value guy got to be Caruso here.
Caruso. And then tournament play of the day. Who's your guy?
I'll go with Sabonis once again.
David Cruz says Adams is out, Chris. He is out. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter too much. Like, we kind of went over it when we went over the Pelicans. Hernan Gomez is already priced where he should be. It does help guys like Zion, who I like a lot. So that's why I like it.
Okay, and then I don't have your course here today because I'm still using the development server just to test it out because I want to push all of these new changes that we have. But the latest version that we have here on the development server includes a lot of updates to the way we process data. So that's why I'm testing it out here during the show as well. So you have Zion, Ingles, and Josh Jackson over on FanDuel. Why do you like these guys here today, Chris?
I mean, I like them all. Start with Zion. I like the matchup against the Warriors a lot. One of the lower price takes we've seen in a while for him at 9K. And then Ingles, 5'7" here. Really good price tag for him as well. I might remove him and put TJ in later once projections update. But we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. And then Josh Jackson, he's the main guy for the Pistons now. They're resting a bunch of guys, so that's why I like him.
Okay. And then which ones do you want to go over here, Chris?
Let's go over the first two here. And just FYI for anyone, obviously projections will update for the Pacers news. That's going to be pretty big. So if you're not subscribed, definitely today is going to be a good day because lineups will definitely update here.
Yes, it makes it quite easy to get into a slate. Just the baseline projections as always. So yeah, good that you pointed that out, Chris.
Yeah, so here we have obviously the teams without the Pacers news because it's not updated yet, but these are still solid teams. So we have a 3v3 here. I'll actually just go over the rest of the guys first. So we have Killian Hayes for 4'4", Jordan Clarkson for 6'5", Josh Jackson for 5'2", and Ingles for 5'7". So we have the two main guys for Utah and Ingles and Clarkson, and then the two guards for the Pistons, who I like a lot for value here today. Then we have Zion at power forward as well for 9K. Locked him in, and Gobert 7'8". I think he's a solid option at center today for 7'8" here. So I like him. And then 3v3, Westbrook, Hachimura, Stewart versus Curry, Ingram, and Gordon. This one's pretty close. Like I like Steph over Westbrook point per dollar, but I do like the Westbrook side here more just because I feel better with Rui Hachimura for value over Aaron Gordon. I feel pretty good about Isaiah Stewart as well for 6'3" instead of Ingram for 7'4", although I do love that price tag for Ingram. But yeah, I like the first side here for now. But like I said, TJ McConnell is probably going to become a lock in these builds. I'll update my core after the show. So yeah, for now, I like the first lineup.
Okay. Willie says Pistol Pete didn't have 3-point shot in college, played the game 20 years ahead of his time, died in a pickup basketball game months after his coach dad passed away. Tragic. I didn't know that. Did you?
Yeah, he had a tragic death. I do know that.
Didn't know that. Dinda says LeBron's mom gave him a Hummer, talking about the Hummer shoulders. And then Willie here says Ingles' upside is weak. What do you make of that, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to play him. I just think he's a decent value guy here as a last piece on DK. But I think on FanDuel for 5.7, that's a really good price tag for him in this situation. So that's why I have him in my core. But like I said, probably going to remove him and add TJ after the show ends. Okay,
and then let me just put the cores here. Just a reminder, crunchers, you guys have your cores over here. This is just the testing server, so that's why we have these here. And that's also why I'm typing them out here. But yeah, it's over there if you're a cruncher. So you have Westbrook, Jackson, Josh Jackson, and Alex Caruso on DK. Chris, why do you like these guys here?
So Westbrook's just easier to get to here. Scoring system fits him better. Josh Jackson, one of my favorite value pieces on this entire slate, and then Caruso on DK for the minimum is just way too cheap.
Okay. Which ones shall we go over here?
Let's look at the first two here. So again, here on DK, this will change for sure with the Pacers news, just because they're going up against the Wizards. LeVert's going to become a great play. TJ McConnell is going to become a great play. Sabonis as well. So I wouldn't even be surprised to see all three of them in the optimal once that updates. But for now, we just have this 1v1 here. Kent Bazemore versus Kuzma. Quickly go over the same people here. So we have Westbrook, Jackson, both in my core. Ingles 6'6". Don't love this price tag. He's definitely going to be removed from here once the projections update for the Pacers news, but I'm still fine with him as a last piece for 6'6". If you do want to play this lineup, Wagner 4'6". Really good price tag there. Taj Gibson 3-1. He's the value guy that is kind of thin, I think. If Noel ends up being ruled out, then Taj will become a lock. I do think that Noel misses this game, but even if he's in, I don't mind Taj for 3-1, just as a last piece. And then we have Curry 10-8, so he's pretty expensive here, but really good matchup, so I don't mind that. And then Caruso obviously in my core. 1v1, Kuzma, Bazemore, both 5.2K. I like the Kuzma side, so no Schroeder, no LeBron. Just solidifies his role. I'll like Kent Bazemore more than Kuzma if we get news that Wiggins is out. Currently, Wiggins is questionable. Obviously, Oubre is still out, so I'll go with the second side here if Wiggins is out. First side if Wiggins is in. But like I said, these teams are going to update with the Pacers news.
Okay. Let's open up what slate should we go over here for Royal King?
We can look at Denver, LA.
And then he's also asking if the Pacers are in play on FanDuel.
Yeah, they're great plays. I mean, TJ's 5'2", Sabonis is 9'8", so that might be a little much, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the optimal. Karis LeVert, 8.4K, love that price tag for him. So I think it's going to be probably Sabonis, LeVert, and McConnell who are in play.
Just waiting for those to update, right? Projections?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. So we went over the one yesterday, Chris, the Raptors one. Raptors game against the Lakers, and we said Siakam as the MVP, and he definitely killed it. I wonder if anyone played that.
Well, let's take a look at. I mean, I'll try to send you a link from yesterday's GPP in that slate. Let's see what happened.
Okay. Wait, you want me to open it, or do you have it?
I'm finding it right now.
Okay. And then this one here, today's Jokic MVP. Got AD here in one of them, Chris. Don't see Drummond up until actually at all here. What do you think of Drummond as a pivot here?
No, I don't think you need it with AD there. I just don't see why it's necessary. I have the link here, so let me send this to you. There you go.
Nice. Yep.
So
Caleb.
actually, let's go back to that slate. You go back to it, and let's try locking in Siakam and see if we could have gotten this lineup. I'm not sure if we would have because it had Bembry, who was pretty low owned, but I'm kind of curious to see if we would have gotten it.
Okay. Yeah, this is a little. Actually, it should be faster here. Let's see. Is it saved? Yeah, Siakam lock is saved.
Is there anything else different?
Nope, just that.
Yeah, so do build 150 because this is a 150 entry max.
Okay. Did we go over this one? Hasty. Pistol Pete holds every NCAA record, scoring record. Most career points, 3,667. Highest scoring average, 44.2. Insane. And then most career 50-point games, 28. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy for sure.
Let's see. Pacer, yeah, we went over that one. Austin says Steven Adams ruled out. We had that one. Willie says Kuzma or Bay on FanDuel and why?
Let me see. On FanDuel, let me just refresh my thing. I mean, I'll probably say Kuzma. I think Kuzma's a little cheaper even. Actually, I think Kuzma's 5'5", Bay is 5'6". I wasn't really landing in that range. I'd rather get up to Ingles for 5'7". I like that more. But I guess if you're deciding between those two, I'd go with Bay. And he said why? Just because they're missing a bunch of guys. They're veterans. Bay is one of their young guys. They want to give him run. Whereas, I mean, I love Kuzma as well. I was talking him up a lot on DraftKings. So, I mean, I like both of them. But I'll slightly lean with Bay on FanDuel.
Okay, then we have a question here. Best small forward 7.1 and under on DK small forward for tournaments.
Yeah, I don't love this range at all. Honestly, I'd try to go to like Kuzma or Bazemore for 5'2" and then spend up somewhere else. Don't want to play Wiggins, don't want to play Harris. I love Josh Jackson, so Josh Jackson if you don't have him. Maybe RJ Barrett if Burks is out, but if Burks is in, I wouldn't want to do it. So I'd try to go to one of these 5.2K guys in Kuzma and Bazemore, or Josh Jackson if you don't have him, and then spend up somewhere else.
Okay. Javante says Andrew Wiggins game time decision for the Warriors. Yep. Willie says thanks. Logical explanation, Chris. So yeah, let's go over this one here. So this is yesterday's single slate. 'Cause we did talk about locking in Siakam at the MVP. So let's take a look. We can sort it, right?
I'm not sure if it works though with the multipliers, but let's see. Yeah, so 340. Yeah, so this one actually would have won 345 because you can see the second place one is 340.93. That was the winner, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what's the difference between 1 and 2 on the tool? So
AD.
just Lowry and AD. Lowry in the star, AD in the pro. So yeah, this would have won you 20K if you did listen. But also, I mean, there's risk obviously because there are a bunch of routes for Siakam to not be the top scorer. But yeah, just like something like that, something simple like that. If you can play the lower stakes stuff, it is fun to do. Let's go to like the 25-cent tournament or even the 5-cent tournament for this slate.
Loading.
There. Yeah. So yeah, I guess there's no 25 cents. So 5-cent tournament times 150. I think it runs you $7.50. So I mean, pretty affordable for most people. You're almost always going to win money back. So if you're lower stakes, I do like playing this, especially if you're new to the optimizer. It does help you. So you would have gotten first. You would have solo shipped it here, 345. What's first place here? Because this was a tie. It's probably $50.
Yeah.
Click on that thing. $40. So yeah. Just I mean one simple change like that. That's why these single slates on FanDuel are kind of, people hate them, but at the same time, like one change like that and you're already different from the field. So yeah, I could have done that. Obviously, I don't think anyone did that because there was no 345 score there in those contests, but
I mean, I liked the route we went yesterday. We went over it. I did really like that one. I didn't play, obviously, but I mean, like you said, it can go the other way too. But I did like the reasoning and the thought process behind that one because he wasn't popping at all. But let's just go over this one for today. We didn't really look at it too much. But I actually do enjoy going over these single slates. I didn't realize they were this much fun prior to Royal King asking us to go over them every day. Let's see. Royal King wants to go over the Atlanta single game as well. But over here, Chris, so the top scorer, without a doubt, is it Jokic for you? I'm kind of skeptical about AD here, concerned with the back-to-back. LeBron sitting. What's the spread here, first of all?
I think it's Denver by 5.
So it's supposed to be pretty close. Would it surprise you if it wasn't close?
Yeah, I mean, Lakers are a really good team still. Like they've been playing poorly, but still, I mean, they're one of the top teams in the league. But with these slates where we have guys like Luka, Jokic, Giannis, it's hard to differentiate at the MVP slot just because you know that there's like a very, very high chance that they're going to be the top scorers. So you have to differentiate at like the star position by playing someone like Michael Porter Jr. over AD, maybe Drummond over AD and Porter Jr. So you have to do something like that. I don't really enjoy these slates on FanDuel where you have like an obvious guy at MVP. Obviously, yesterday was Raptors and Lakers. So you could have had LeBron, you could have had AD, you could have had Lowry, you could have had Siakam, who were the top scorer. So those are the slates I kind of enjoy more. Let's take a look at the Atlanta one instead of this one.
Is there any way to do something like if Drummond is in the lineup, make sure AD is in like the pro or util?
Yeah.
How would you do that?
Well, the thing is, if you did that, you would have to bump up their projections as well, just because it's not going to be optimal for the optimizer to give you those teams, because there's going to be a bunch of other teams that project better. So,
what about this one? Like, which one could we do like that just to test it out? Like, could we do a Porter one here? All right.
Yeah, you can do if Porter is in the star, I mean, the thing is, even if you do that, it's going to happen anyways organically. That's the tricky thing.
What if you did like, okay, I don't know, just to try it out, like if you did Jokic here, MVP, like then you could put AD into pro or something.
Try it.
And then what do you do here? 1 out of that?
Yeah, minimum 1.
So this will make it so AD doesn't show up here?
Just click build. We'll see.
1 sec.
Yeah, so now...
Because I think you have to put AD here as well too, right? Util or no?
No, so the rule you made is use AD at pro only if Jokic is MVP. So you'll only get AD at pro if Jokic is MVP. So you can see that every AD pro lineup has Jokic MVP. That's pretty much the rule that you set.
Got it. I don't know if that's one I would say. I was just wondering. But yeah, let's go over the other one. Atlanta.
Yeah, so this is where it's a little more interesting because you have probably 4 guys who are viable here at the MVP. 2 from each team. Obviously Dame and CJ from the Blazers, who are most likely. Like you have Nurkic as well, but I mean, I think that the chances of Dame and CJ outscoring Nurkic are just a lot higher. So I would say 2 from the Blazers and Dame and CJ, and then 2 from the Hawks with Trae Young and Capella. So obviously the favorites are going to be Dame from the Blazers and Trae from the Hawks. So I think if you just exclude those 2 guys, run it with CJ and Capella at MVP. Let's try excluding Dame and Trae Young from MVP.
Could we do that here?
I mean, there's really no point. You just go to MVP, and they're the top 2 guys, so you just exclude those 2.
Let me add sticky table.
Yeah, just I mean a change like that, and then now you're different because you're going to get a ton of Capella and CJ in the MVP slot. You're probably going to get a little bit of Nurkic as well. So I mean, I like this build a lot. Build 150 instead of 20 because you don't really run 20 entry max with this sort of stuff. And then I'm interested to see what the MVP exposure is. Yeah, distribution. So I mean, just because I just want to say this as well, just because you excluded them at MVP doesn't mean you're not going to get them. Like you're still going to get them at star pretty much in every lineup, just because they project the best on this slate. You're just changing it up a little bit just to play with the ownership. Use it as leverage. Do you still have the contest from yesterday open?
Nope. Which one?
I think I sent it to you, right?
I have I do have the link for one of them, and then I have yours too.
That one. Just click on the MVPs here. You can see that I just want to show the ownership. So you have Siakam at 9%. Obviously, the top owned guy was AD. He was the one popping in the original builds. He was the highest owned MVP. Let's see what LeBron was at. Go to like last winning position or any random lineup. Yeah, let's see LeBron. So AD 36, LeBron 42. So those were the two chalky guys at MVP. And then just like that, I think today is going to be the same thing for the slate we're talking about. It's going to be Trae Young and Dame probably at 30% apiece, maybe 35% apiece, and then you're going to have Clint Capella and CJ for like probably sub 10%. So I think just like that, you're differentiating yourself enough to make a difference.
Let's take a look. MVP. Yeah, Capella 54. I really like that. I mean, if he has a ceiling game, I feel like he'd be the highest scoring one here, and then no one's going to have him there. So I like that. CJ here, Nurk. Yeah, I mean, I like this a lot, this build here.
So I mean, also, if you're playing single game, I like this slate a lot more than the late night game, just because I talked about it. Like, when you have the obvious guy at MVP, it's not too fun, because if you fade him, I mean, there's a really high chance you just lose everything. Tiny chance that you end up, tiny chance your other guy beats Jokic. So that's why I don't love it on those slates where we have the obvious MVP.
Yeah, makes sense. David says DK, GPP, Caruso, Levert, Josh Jackson, Sabonis, Hernan Gomez, Lillard, and then Gibson if Noel is out, McDermott for tournaments. Anyone you don't like there?
Can you say it again? Faster?
Caruso, Levert, Josh Jackson, Sabonis, Hernan Gomez, Lillard, Taj Gibson if Noel is out, McDermott.
So there's someone there. Say who's the middle part? Who do you think I wouldn't like? Hernan Gomez. Hernan Gomez was the guy that I don't love.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm fine with him as well. I think that lineup's pretty solid. Everyone there is a good play. Everyone there is taking advantage of some injury situation. Good game environment. So I do like that lineup.
Okay. Housekeeping stuff. Said it already once today, but check out our site, dfscrunch.com. If you're a new member, you could try everything out we have for free. No restrictions at all. So the single slate that we went over, you'll have access to that. All the different slates that we have. Let's see. Yeah, so you get access to all the different slates that we have. FanDuel, DraftKings, all our projections, ownership, fantasy points, all that stuff. All the sports. What sports do we have today? We have NBA, obviously, NHL, baseball. Anything else? Esports, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, lots of stuff. So you get access to all that. Like I said, if you're a new member, you've never been with us, you'll get 3 days for free. So 3 days just to try it out, no risk at all. Full access, which also includes our Discord. So join that as well. It's a good place to ask questions about the optimizer, projections, DFS, anything like that, roster construction, settings, whatever you have. Great place to go there and ask them. So you get access to that as well during the trial. More than welcome to cancel your account anytime during your trial. You can do it yourself on our website here. Open up the sidebar, hover over this icon here, and then click account management, and then that is how you manage your account. You can cancel it, but I do recommend you guys try it out for free. 3 days completely free. You can set a reminder for 3 days, cancel it before then. It's literally 72 hours from the moment you sign up to when you get your first bill. So if you cancel before then, you'll get that for free completely. Try it out. If you forget to cancel it and you didn't want to keep it, you can message me. I can do it for you. It's all good. But try it out if you play DFS. It's a solid product. Lots of people have success here. One of the best tools in the game for sure. So try it out. Other stuff, YouTube. Before you go, make sure to hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the show today. Helps us grow, so we appreciate that a lot. And then make sure you're subscribed as well with the bell button clicked and notifications text on all, I believe. That way our show will be at the front of your YouTube page. You'll also get email reminders if you have that on. You could turn that off as well, but yeah, do that as well. Show's always going to be free. It's always 2.5 hours before main slate, so a good place to hang out leading up to lock, ask questions, things like that. Go over the slate with us. So yeah, 2.5 hours before every slate, weekends, holidays, all that stuff. We're always doing it. Other than that, anything else from you, Chris? Do you want to say your good luck? Excited for the slate?
Good luck. Yeah, hopefully everyone has a good slate as always.
Yeah. Good luck, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And then we'll see you guys all tomorrow. And we'll be in the Discord as always.